Have you ever stopped to question the thoughts that you think, the thoughts about yourself? Today, we're going to tackle negative self talk. Hi, I'm Marcella from Crank It Up Coaching, and you're watching Soul Fuse Sanctuary, where we talk about self love.
That's true. And this is Yvette Carrion of Pivot Point Life Coaching and Trainings. And again, another interesting topic on negative self talk. And how often do we do that? Sometimes I wake up and look at the mirror and say, ah, why are you so ugly?
Girl, I wonder if
And
everybody
it's,
says that because I've said that too.
yeah, yeah. And sometimes, we do our own body shaming. I'm so fat. Why can't I be like this person or that girl in the magazine or this? Or why can't I fit into my dress back when? And one girlfriend actually told me, "Hey, don't ever forget that we have this body right now, but way back we also had those." And so, all right, yeah, negative self-talk.
Negative self talk, it's so easy. It's so easy to talk negative to yourself and not even realize it, you know? So the first thing that we need to do is recognize it. So interesting. Recently, I've been doing this thing and it's been irritating me so much. I've been going, oops, oops, oops. And it seems simple, right? But because I know what I know, when I say oops, it's like, oh, look at that. You made a mistake. You made a mistake. You made a mistake. You made a mistake. And I'm like, where did that come from? Because or I would say oopsie, but it might sound cute, but where did it come from? And why am I saying that? Because the thing about negative self-talk is that it gets into your subconscious, and it affects your subconscious so that you may not realize it, but it's saying to yourself, you make, like, especially with me saying oops a lot, you make a lot of mistakes. You made a mistake there, you made a mistake there, you made a mistake there. So the first thing we have to do is recognize it, because really what you're saying is that you're not enough. You're not enough. Look at all of these mistakes you're making. You're not enough. You can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. As you said, recognize, and then you spot the patterns. How often do I tell that to myself? And if you do catch yourself saying it to yourself, even, not even in front of the mirror, even within your thoughts,
Mhm.
everything starts in thinking. So just in your thoughts. And as Marcella said, oops, that could be a cue. And then find out, ask yourself, why? And then where did this come from? And then, you know, um, think of the good things that you have done, how you struggled and survived, how you have made peace with yourself, how you have, how you have tried even to put up with a toxic friend just to be kind and compassionate. So that says a lot about you. And all these positive things that you can think of that you have done, not even in the past years, but even in just the 24 hours, could could lead you to realize that, wait, oops, what am I thinking of? Where is it coming from? And am I really that bad? And if you answer that I am really that bad, then it is really time to do an evaluation of yourself, because being honest with yourself is also part of self awareness and self love. But
Yeah.
negative talk is really something that only you or only I can really control because
Mhm.
it's in our head.
Right. And like I was saying, when I'm using an example of oops or oopsie, you know,
Mhm.
it's so subtle, isn't it? It's like,
Mm.
what? Because negative self-talk could be subtle like that, oops, or you're so stupid. I can't believe you did that. And it could be like super loud, where you are just beating yourself up for whatever reason.
Mhm.
And the subtleness of oops and the you're so stupid, it's actually the same. It's the same. And it has a detrimental effect on our self love and how we perceive ourselves.
That's true. You know, Marcella, it brings me back to cognitive distortions,
Mhm.
right? Like all or nothing. I could be black or I could be white. There's nothing in between. And it's like it's perfectionism is the same. And then overgeneralization, all these things that because it happened to me before, everything is the same. I will never be good enough. Or I had that mistake before, I will always have that mistake. Somebody thinks of that about me, then I am that. All these things, mental filter. Jumping to conclusion is one really one of my favorites. Another one is catastrophizing. When you think the worst of everything about yourself, like, oh, I'm the worst. Or you're going to talk to somebody, oh, I'm so nervous. I know this will be a failure. I mean, you're just there. And that negative self talk, actually, when you think about it and pause and breathe and let yourself think, is if you will think that you will fall into a pit, then why are you going towards that pit? Yeah, just it's really mindfulness and being self
Mhm.
aware.
Yes, yes. And one of the ways that you can deal with self-talk is reframing, and what reframing is, and instead of saying, I'm so stupid, you can say, I made a mistake, but I'm learning from this mistake. So I won't do that mistake again because I'm learning from that mistake. And so that's called reframing. And then, as always, we have to be compassionate with ourselves. Sometimes we talk to ourselves terribly. That if your best friend or a good friend of yours was in the same situation that you're in, where you beat yourself up, you would be comforting them, going, it's okay, you know, yes, you might have done this, but you would comfort them instead of beating them up like, yeah, you did it, right? You would have compassion on them.
Oh, that's so true. You have to be your own best friend because what you have is what others will take from you. And if you have that negative self talk and that has been in your subconscious, actually, that's how you will be, and that's how people will perceive you. So they will demean you. And you ask yourself, why are people treating me this way? Because maybe you are not treating yourself the right way as well. So
Mhm.
it's time really when people don't treat you the right way, it's time to take a stock of yourself. Think, am I treating myself well? Am I treating myself with respect, with kindness, with compassion, with love that I deserve? Because you are a human being, and that life is the utmost gift. And so I think, as Marcella said, you have to really treat yourself well and think, think in yourself.
Yes, Yvette, I agree. And one of the things that I realize is that a lot of self talk, negative self talk, comes from you hearing other people say that perhaps you're stupid, perhaps that you're not enough, or whatever external information you're getting and you're holding on to it. Just like I think we were talking about, I don't know if it was this video about, oh, waking up, oh, I'm so ugly. Right? Where did we get that from? I know I used to say that because I used to be compared to my she was like my sister who was absolutely beautiful. So if we're walking down the street, everybody would go, she's pretty, she's so pretty, and not me. So obviously, I took it internally. And so when I looked in the mirror, it was like, so ugly.
Yeah, Marcella, that thought just made me realize how also as onlookers and as people, in our families, how we also have to be mindful about, greeting, oh, you're so pretty, and then why are you taller than her or something like that, and what your dress is more beautiful. As family members, it has to start with us, and that we know now. So people out there listening, when you have family members and you see them in get-togethers or even friends, and you compliment a person, make sure that you also give a kind word to the one beside the person, because so it is nature that I think that we will, okay. But of course, we're not selfish, but it's just being kind also to others, because we don't know whom we hurt. We don't know what we don't know. And I think also one of the things that we can combat negative talk, for me, the most important thing is gratitude. I just say, thank you that I'm alive. And thank you for all the opportunities that I have, the littlest things that I can eat, I can walk, that I can breathe, and I can see, and the really appreciation.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
How about positive affirmations, Marcel? What do you think of them?
I think that's a great, and I think I kind of gave you an example of a positive
Yeah,
affirmation when I said, oh, I might have made a mistake, but I
yeah.
don't always make mistakes, and I'm learning from what I did. So positive affirmations help you to change that mindset. First, you have to recognize that you're doing it and then come up with affirmations. And we'll talk about affirmations in a later episode, but come up with affirmations to uh, negate that negative self talk. And negate means to counteract it in a sense
Mm.
that you're going to come up with something like I did. Like at first, you said, oh, I'm so stupid. I messed up at work. And instead of saying that, say, everybody makes mistakes. And it's not a mistake because I learned from it. And so I'm learning as I'm going along, something like that. That was just off the cuff of what I'm just thinking. Do you have an affirmation, an example?
It's just what you said, how we reframe that can shift
Mm-hmm.
our belief in ourselves. So when you
Mm-hmm.
make mistakes, it's really more of a learning point.
Yes. Yeah.
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 Mm.
So it's recognizing, reframing, and then always have compassion for yourself.
Mm.
Those are the three
Yeah.
areas of combating negative self talk.
Yep. What a beautiful session talk today, conversation that we have. And again, time flies. So, Marcella, wow. I hope we have reached the hearts of our audience, and
Yes.
also somehow, made them think how negative self-talk done daily goes into subconscious and makes you be that. So the challenge is to shift and find the good in you, and then appreciate who you are with gratitude, with love, with kindness, with compassion.
Yes. Our question for the day is what I would like you to do. is just monitor your thoughts for one day. It would be great if you would do it for a whole week, but just one day and write down every time you thought about yourself negatively. And you don't have we would love you to be specific in the comments, but you don't have to be specific. Just put a number, say, you know, I found that I had negative self talk, negative self thoughts about myself 10 times today. That would be enough. But we would love to hear how you're progressing because we are all about your self love.
Yes.
And if you enjoyed this session, please subscribe if you haven't already. And hey, fam, to those who have subscribed, and we want you to comment and like. And if this was a blessing to you, share it with other people. And I just want to announce that my book, the Self Love Workbook for Women, will be coming out shortly. And I would love for you to buy it. And I will, in the future, so stay tuned, we'll be giving away, maybe a chapter or two of the book to just show you what the book is about. So we love you and we thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah. So this has been Yvette and
Marcella,
okay, so
and
wait up for that book and see you next episode.
alrighty, bye bye.
Bye.